Hi everyone! Welcome to Artsonia's After School Art Club. Today we have a fun art project from Bridget McDermott, an art teacher from Virginia. Hope you enjoy the video and don't forget to have your artwork uploaded to your Artsonia gallery.
Hi, welcome to Arty Like a Rock Star with me, Bridget McDermott. Heather Galler is a contemporary artist, meaning she makes art today. She is a professional New York City muralist, meaning she paints on walls or sides of buildings. She does pet portraits as well as human portraits, still lifes, and what we're going to look at today is her landscapes. And she sells all of these prints on a website called Etsy. She is a folk artist, meaning she did not study art, but you can see she uses bold colors and patterns while creating. We are going to be inspired by this art as we work today. You are going to need a pencil as well as a black Sharpie. I have two different sizes. I would recommend starting with the pencil and then overlapping with the Sharpie. However, today I'm going to start straight with the Sharpie so that you can see it better. I'm going to be doing a horizontal line going from side to side around the middle of my paper. It does not have to be a perfectly straight line. This is going to be the horizon line where the sky and the ground meet. On the bottom half, I'm going to do the rows for the crops, and I'm going to do my vertical lines. You can do 3 or 4 lines vertical, up and down. I want to make sure they're nice and thick. And then I'm going to do some diagonal lines so I can have even more crops on my farm. Now I'm going to go and add the things on the ground. I'm going to start by doing a rectangle or square shape for my barn and then a triangle towards the top. If you have these enclosed, that is fine too. I'm going to do a rectangle for my barn door with an X in the middle. Then I'm doing a thin rectangle and a semicircle that can help store all my plants. I'm going to do some ovals for my simple trees. Do nice big ovals next to each other. And then just 2 vertical lines for the trunk. I'm going to add a sun. It's going to look like a rainbow because it can either be the sunrise or the sunset. And those are the different rays that will come off of my sun. I'll show you another version that you can do as well. Again, my horizontal line, this one's a little straighter. My verticals for my crops and my horizontals. My barn. This time I'm making it 3-dimensional looking. Remember, you can pause the video at any time to catch up, especially as I'm having it go in a faster mode. This time I did a moon or a sun in the sky instead of setting, but I'm still adding my ovals for my trees. Maybe some bushes to fill in some space. A little mini tree hiding behind, and then some clouds. You can try lots of different versions. Now I'm going to be needing oil pastels or crayons to color this part in. We're going to add our patterns. I do have a pattern sheet in the corner for you to look at, but I will also have one partway through the video that you can pause and look at. Each space should have its own pattern and its own color. Try not to repeat. It might be tricky, but try your very best. At least don't repeat the same colors right next to each other, or patterns right next to each other. Every space should have a pattern. I, however, am going to skip it in my clouds because I want them to be white, and my trunk of the trees are really small, so those might not get a pattern as well. I'm adding some zigzags. Try different line patterns and shape patterns. Some apples in my trees. And they do not need to match the color that things actually are. You're not sitting and drawing carrots or cabbage. You're just adding pattern. This time I'm going to use crayons. When you use crayons, you're going to want to press a little harder because they are not as soft of a wax as oil pastels are. So you really want to make sure you're pressing hard so that when we add our paint, they will show through. And again, each space gets its own pattern and its own color. You can add more than one color to a space, and you can do different sizes of your shapes or your lines as well. You can have thick, you can have thin, you can color things in, or you can leave them open like I am with the diamonds. Remember, pause the video to look at the patterns. Now it's time to use the watercolor paints. I'm going to start with one color and fill in as many spaces that are not next to each other as I can. It's best to start with a light color so that then your water does not get too dirty. I'm doing my sky blue in this one, but you can pick any color for your sky. And just like with the oil pastels, try not to repeat the same colors next to each other. My only exception is going to be my barn, because in my 3D version, I want the front of the barn and the side of the barn to be the same. As you saw there, I mixed some colors together. So each space, it does not need to match the color of oil pastel or crayon you used. The more water you add to your brush, the lighter the color will get. And the more you swirl your brush in the paint, the darker the color will get. You may notice as I get my water, I wipe it on the bottom of the cup, and then I wipe it on the side of the cup so that my paints will not drip. So here it is again. This one is with the crayons, so you can see the difference between the two. When you are finished, set your painting to the side so it can dry, and then you will have a beautiful landscape inspired by Heather Galler.